Alright, welcome back to Keith and Kevin's Repair and Restoration, and today we're going to start working on getting this truck buttoned up. We're going to start the final details. Today we're going to go after cooling system first. We got a freeze coming in our area and I want to get water in this motor before that. Stay tuned, we got a lot to get done today. We're going to blow the heater core free because we need to make sure all the contaminated coolant's out of this engine. I lower the pressure to about 15 pounds. Oh, and you can smell it too.
Lower the hose.
A little bit. Let me know when you're ready.
There we go. Go for it.
Is it green or water?
I can't tell. Can't tell.
No, whatever we keep putting through there is going to just make that stuff look bad, but I'll pour it one more time, but you need to see what's coming out.
Alright. I want to go after this.
Ready?
It's like just water now. Yep, just light green water now. Alright, we're good.
Alright, to start off, as you can see, the cores themselves are physically bigger. The height of the old one is going to be 19.5 inches versus 21 something. And you might ask, well, that's great and all, is that going to fit? And the question is a good question. Yes, it will fit. Although it will be tight. It's going to be sandwiched down, and that's okay. Let's talk about what makes these things different. First of all, let's talk about some of the problems. This back in the day was known as the desert radiator. GM thought they could make the 400s last if they just threw a big enough radiator at it, and sadly they were mistaken. It didn't work. Radiator guy I used to know a long time ago told me on these radiators, he goes, you know, you can go ahead and put one of them big old daddies in there, but he goes, the reality is the two inner cores don't cool. I'm going to show you now what he was talking about. So we're going to look inside here, and we're going to physically count 4 cores. I don't know how well the camera's going to do, so just bear with me as we go through this. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And what he was saying was the 2 inner cores don't do any cooling for you. And I think he's probably right. I mean, you got big cores, and if you look at the fin count, it's very wide. And the fins is what give you your efficiency. The other things I've seen with copper, they always like to leak at the sides, and it's really expensive to get copper redone. I mean, you're going to be spending $400 or $500 to get an OEM quality copper job. Alright, let's go over the aluminum. Aluminum has more fins per square inch, which means the efficiency for this is going to be really good. This is a CU730. This is also reference to the Harrison 730, otherwise reference to the desert cooler. Let's look inside. And you'll see what the difference is. There's 2 massive cores. Cores will do the efficiency of what 4 tried to do. Now the width of this is insane. You're talking, let's see here, is about 2 1/4 width. You go to this one, it's almost 2 1/2. So we lose a little bit of width, but we get height and we get efficiency. You can't beat the cooling of a plastic radiator. I don't care what anybody says. I've dealt with the copper radiators, and though they do work, they get hot and they don't dissipate as much heat as these will. And I'll show you that in the wintertime when we got to put cardboard in front of this radiator, where this one we probably wouldn't. Another thing, when you blow an engine like a 400, you just want to dump the radiator. Consider it bad. It adds weight too, so that kills you in fuel economy. Other than that, this is our segment on the 2 different radiators, the copper versus aluminum.
pushing it.
It's about the fattest thing you're gonna fit in here. There you go.
That's just a maybe right there.
No, it will. Just make sure you're on your perches.
So this one actually is a taller one?
It is taller, yeah. But they made sure that right here was fine. It gives as much cooling as it can possibly give.
So technically it's an oversized radiator though. How many inches?
Oh, by a lot. These things only originally came with 3 cores on the heavy duty options with AC and 400. We're kind of doing things a little odd. We got some really cold weather. We're part of that cold snap that's coming down in 2016 in the 1st of December. So very important that, you know, 2 things. You either put coolant in this or you make sure there's no water in it, and especially there's no water in it, because the water itself without coolant will crack your block. Boats, interestingly enough, don't use any coolant in the wintertime. They're actually just block drained. They're left completely empty and they don't crack. Why? Because they don't have water in it. So we don't want to see our hard work get ruined. So as a precaution, we're going to go ahead and just get the cooling system filled. We're not ready to start this yet. We're still waiting on a fan clutch because unfortunately our boys at O'Reilly's got us the wrong one. It's okay, it happens. So one of the things, just fill it slow. Now we're make sure we're using our own mix. We're doing 50-50. There's a time to check for leaks anyway before we turn the key, because we want to make sure this motor does not overheat. It won't take it 1 or 2 times and that'll be about that. Well, 1 gallon gone.
I bet that only filled up a quarter of it.
Well, with the oversized radiator and stuff we've done to it, yeah. And it's empty because it was flipped over.
Still has to fill up the heater core.
Oh yeah. Two gallons gone.
I'm so glad we bought this coolant when I had money.
Did you already mix that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope, I'm just putting a whole antifreeze in there.
Yeah, I hope not. That'd be bad.
How many gallons do you think this is going to be? I'm
3.
thinking. What?
3 before we start it, and about a half after. But at least this will give it time to kind of work its bubbles out. Because having the hose lower than the fill, everything will actually be full without even having to run it. And the air will escape through the heater core. That's 3 gallons. How much is this thirsty pig gonna take?
I hope I never ever have to do a radiator flush to this.
Well, it's because you're having to fill the block up.
It's not even halfway.
Alright, now we gotta see that for the camera. Hold on, I'll get you a view, folks. Where is it putting it all? Wow. Look at those 2 massive cords. That just makes me happy to see those happy cords. Yeah, if anything, this thing's gonna run butt cold, and that's what we want.
This much antifreeze in for you.
And as soon as it starts up, it's gonna suck it down. That's 4 gallons. Oh, shoot. Slow down, turbo. Now to get the upper hose filled up, what I like to do is start squeezing. But being it's a little cold out, hose is not going to squeeze very well. Try anyway. She's full. And as full as it's going to be without starting it.
Four and a half.
Whoa.
Am I squeezing it off the top?
Yeah, you've got air bubbles in there. You've got to go a little slower with that. I wouldn't put it on tight. I would just, no. There you go. Just put it on there. There you go. The reason for that is there's any expansion in the system. I don't want the pressure to have to build up to make it happen. I just want it to do it seamless. But anyway, this is where we're going to leave this now until this below 5-degree temperature goes away. But as soon as we get done with that, you better believe it, the next thing we're going to do is start the beast. But right now we're kind of in long-term storage mode. So click like, subscribe. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.